Hey, I'm Matt Manny. Thanks so much for joining me for today's devotional moment. Today's devotional is called Sparrowology. In her book, The Genius of Birds, Jennifer Ackerman writes about a definitive history on sparrows. Now, sparrows are not indigenous to the United States, but back in the 1800s, sparrows were introduced to take care of a problem with insects. And so sparrows, kind of like rats and mice, they began to multiply and actually kind of take over North America. The interesting thing about sparrows is that they can find a home in just about anywhere. They can find homes in the tailpipe of an old rundown car in a junkyard. They can make nests in the eaves of a home above a garage. They can live just about anywhere and survive and thrive. Matthew chapter 6, verse 25 to 34 is our text for today. It's no wonder that Jesus talks about sparrows and how they can look at the sparrows of the air, and he says this about God, that if God takes notice and cares about a sparrow when it falls from the sky to the ground, if he cares about a sparrow that falls, doesn't God care just as much or more so for you and me? And so sometimes for us, we can feel like nobody knows, that nobody cares what we're going through. Maybe, like we talked about in the previous devotional, storms are going on around us and we wonder, God, where are you in the midst of this? One of the greatest cues for us to remember that God cares for us is to look out the window, or as we're driving down the road, or as we're listening, to listen for the chirp, the song of a sparrow. Now for us around here, around our house, we have birds here and there, but my bird is actually squirrels. Squirrels are all over the place for us. Squirrels have actually eaten through the top of our trash cans and destroyed our trash cans. So I got the bright idea one day to go out and dump hot sauce all over the trash can. That took care of the squirrels for a while. My grandfather, I remember growing up, he would tell me, if you see a fat squirrel, it means it's going to be a long, hard winter. If you see a thin squirrel, it means that the winter's not going to be too bad. And so I think about that. Whether it's a squirrel or a sparrow, if God takes care of those animals, how much more will God take care of us? David talks about this concept in Psalm 37, when he says that I have been young and I'm now old, and in all my years of living, I have never seen the righteous forsaken, nor their kids begging for bread. So when we trust God and we live right by God and we do right by God, we know God will take care of us and care for us just as much as he cares for a sparrow. Thanks so much for joining me for today's devotional moment.